Hello and welcome to the live Monday community show. It's not something that maybe rolls off the tongue right now, and we can come up with a better name for it. I liked Joshua's idea of calling this a town hall meeting because essentially we want this to be a town, a community, a place where you feel like you can come and talk and feel accepted as who you are and set intentions for your week, because I believe Monday is a special time where we are called to ask ourselves, who do we want to be this week? What do we want to be this week? We've got a new, whatever a week is in terms of human creation, and Mondays, and you may have a weird energy about Mondays depending on what you do on a Monday. And full circle, me on a Monday, I enjoy Mondays because of the life that I've created and what I get to show up to in terms of this community and to be able to support people when they're needing of support. And simply support is more to us than just a Discord community, more than just a town hall, just more than a free support community. It's a vision for me and Joshua to be able to alleviate human suffering, to provide space for people to come and gain perspective on their lives, to hopefully live more lives of peace and happiness, because that's just me and life. Me and Joshua's life is always about healing and about understanding how our past has made us who we are now. And based on our healing, we've decided we do want to give back to people as often as we can and be a supportive role for them based on how much we've accomplished. So when we say this is more than just a community, for us, it's a vessel. So right now we're doing the best that we can to support individuals online in this online world because it connects us with a global base, which is like the coolest thing ever. Me and Joshua have been working with people internationally for over 3 years. And because we're an international marriage, he's English, I'm American, I think it just naturally happens that way. We attract a global community and it's so beautiful to be a part of. And so if you're a part of this community, you're a part of a global community of people that share experiences with you and can be, more to you than that. So anyways, this is a free community, right? You know that as long as you create tickets and communicate with us, you get a free 20-minute call every single week where we just support you every month. Yeah, to check in with you. But you can, I want to make clear, make tickets whenever you want to, or if you feel like you need to fulfill, have a question, then reach out to us and make a ticket, because we're not, we may have offered you some additional services, those that have talked to us, but overall those services are something that we're building and we want to provide for you, and we want to make them the best that they can be. And it's something that I'm still writing behind the scenes and am bringing forward, but we still have group services. We still have one-on-one services that are more intensive for those that want it. It's just not something that we're just being like, oh, buy this and sell this right now, because before anything else, we are a support service over a business. But I want to make clear about the characters that me and Joshua are, because if you're new to this community, that means you're new to us. And we're still, as we're getting to know you, you're getting to know us. And so I want to open the space for you to understand more about who me and Joshua are in terms of simply support, in terms of who we are as people in the world. So maybe this would be a good, oh, someone's here. Hello. I think this would be a good opportunity for me and Joshua. Hello. To share more about who we are behind the scenes, but we've just had a friend show up. Hello. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, good. I'm great. Thank you for showing up. I was just riffing about something, but you came, and so I was like, oh, we'll say hello and welcome.
Okay. Is there supposed to be more people in here, or is this like
This is a growing community, so we're kind of just building it as we go. So
okay?
there's not supposed to be anyone, so to say. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk to us, so to say.
Okay, I'll just listen for right now.
Okay, that's totally cool. We're just appreciate you being here. Because we're just explaining because it's like we're total strangers right now on a call. And so this is actually probably a good time that you came on because I want to introduce myself. I'm Kate. This is Joshua. And we want to explain who we are as a married couple and what we're trying to provide for you here with Simply Support based on who we are, so to say. Okay.
Great.
Okay,
Sounds
great.
good.
Oh, okay. So I am Kate. I am Catherine. Me and Joshua got married. Where do we even start? But so to say, you've been quiet, but he wanted me to take the lead with this, which I totally understand. Uh, so
I think what would help, Kate,
what?
is if we just simplified and just shared what it is that we're trying to achieve here.
Okay,
You know?
that's fine. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
'Cause that's good, because then we can just chat about that, and just because sometimes what we're having really the main, I guess, thing that we're working on right now is working on how to translate what we're trying to achieve with the world. And that's usual in like early stage communities like this, and figuring out how to share that effectively is a core challenge always. So I think if you just every time we do this town hall, it's the idea why it's called a town hall meeting is because before the internet world, that's how information was shared between communities. Everybody would meet in one central location, and you'd kind of be like, here's what's happened this week, and here's where we're moving forward. And then the whole community would be like, oh, that's cool. And everybody would be on the same page, as it were.
right.
Because that is what we're trying to build here. Ultimately, we call it Simply Support because that's its main function. It's a support community, is its main function, but it is just a community. And in light of the previous, I don't know, I guess the vast majority of the world agrees, but the previous 3 years have been really weird around the world, and community has been something that has, for the most part, maybe been stripped from a lot of people for various reasons. And in the work that Kate and I were doing, we've been coaching people and like helping people through just their things. Life is difficult in lots of ways for lots of people. And we've been doing like coaching services. But what we realized is that realistically, the quote unquote easiest way to solve a lot of like problems that we've been seeing and working with is to just have people be involved in a community that actually supports them and uplifts them, because from that only good things happen. And it's like I guess a pretty blanket solution, and it sounds very blanket solution, but there is great strength in community, and there's great strength in sharing resources and supporting each other through different ventures, and pooling resources. There's a lot to it, and there's a certain limit to numbers, I think, and how humans have historically been shown to work well together in communities of about 150 people. Anymore, it starts to get crazy. So that's what we're trying to build, is our version of that, and we want to share that with other people, because I don't know, up until recently, building community has always been something that I've struggled with, especially with the world being so disconnected. So that's ultimately what we're trying to achieve, is building that community. And as our kind of like main, especially Kate's main resource that she plans on sharing, is her time and her support, and the way that Kate has it's essentially what Kate has done for me over the last 3 years, really. And that's what I say to people, is like, I'm the product of your support, but because before Kate, I wasn't doing the things that I did or do now. And obviously we're married, which changes things and makes it more biased, but I've seen it so often in other people that Kate has worked with, is that and that supportive energy really does create great things. So that's like Kate's main asset that she's bringing to the community right now. But over time, there'll be people in here that have different resources and assets and businesses, and sharing them amongst a community in that way is a really beautiful thing to do, because you empower everybody and everybody wins. So
Thanks for sharing that.
I think I don't know if that helps it a bit more clear, but it is something that requires work to communicate, because it's not just like oh, we've started a group and do you know? So I don't know. Did that make sense at all?
You can reply in the chat if you want to reply.
Yeah, replying in the chat if you want.
Yeah, I guess I get overwhelmed with wanting to share everything about who I am because I'm like, who's this person to be telling me this or that on the camera? And so I just thought like, oh, well, I don't have anywhere to share my history and
No, definitely
supporting
do
others.
that. I
Like
think it's good.
I've written my story about how I've supported others so many times on the internet and then deleted it. It's honestly ridiculous, team. Like, fam, like this is just, I've written it so many times. And so, because it is a complex story and I've written it and now
Well,
it's
just
just gone.
let's hear the simple version.
The simple version is that I was trying to find peace in the world. What was happiness? What was love? And I had been experiencing extreme depression and anxiety. My face was covered in cystic acne. I had an imbalance in every sort of the definition of it. I've between just a lot of relationships and emotions. I was all over the shop, to be honest. And if you've seen my TikToks about being a mess, it's because I felt like a mess. I probably was a mess. But in 2019, I started to experience what I call now healing. And from this place of healing, I was able to clear my acne. I was able to soar a lot of my emotions in terms of what I believe increasing emotional intelligence. And I've in 2019 was introduced to this concept of coaching, but I wanted to take it beyond the definition of what coaching was. I wanted to be just a supporter for life experiences, of human experiences. And that's how I was connected with Joshua, was through my Dig Deeper, Reach Higher community, which was based on waking up every morning, sitting in silence for an hour, and then recording yourself on camera for 15 minutes, turning it off, and then revisiting it and again at night. It was a very internal experience, and I wanted it had changed my life. And so I was introducing it to other people, including Joshua. And Joshua really liked the exercise. And since Joshua was um, understood the internet world more than me, I guess is the best way to describe it. We started become friends and working together because he helped me understand my place in the internet and how to communicate and how to create systems and this or that. And since I was supporting him and he felt so good, he was like, oh, well, we'll just bring your support to the internet world in a more efficient way. So that's happened in several different iterations over the last several years in terms of services I've done, services he's done, and what we've been providing for other people. But it comes just back down to me wanting to make it as simple as possible, provide support for people when they need it. So that's where we're at right now. I think that was a good synopsis.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'd give it. It was very solid. I understood it, but I've heard it many
Okay.
times. That's why I left. I wasn't trying to be rude. The dog's going a bit crazy right
We
here.
have a 6-month-old puppy. So we are puppy parents to a 6-month-old black lab
Called Renson. And
called
he's a maniac.
Renson. And we've got a when I left camera, I was getting our cat, who's also a maniac, called Aldo.
Yeah, and
we live in a zoo.
we do live in a
We
zoo,
live in a
and
wild zoo.
I guess I'd like to. I like your synopsis, Kate, and I think it is useful, I guess, for people to learn more about this as a community and ultimately why they should be a part of it and why they should share things. I get that. So, I really just am on a mission. I feel like I've been on a mission for ages to figure out, or at least do my best to figure out the what's the solution to not just settling for what is, really. And I used to think that was more just getting more and more, sent me down that pathway for a while. But now it's just getting closer and back to community and just helping people just live. And that's really is the most simplified version of that. Is I just see a lot of people be in positions that I've been in, you know, living realities that I've definitely have experienced, and now I don't experience them as much, and I feel way more at peace. I'm like, oh, I just want to share that with people. I'm like, what else could I possibly be doing other than sharing that and trying to help other people have that? Because, you know, It just seems
Right.
worthy
And
of my
Joshua
time.
probably doesn't want to tell this story as many times as he has told it, but Joshua has survived cancer and he's healed and he's made it to a place now where he is living for happiness and he's, finding his way. And it's something where we've been through so much as a couple combined in our life experiences that we are like, oh, well, other people, we've support each other so much, but why don't we support other people just as much?
Because life is short,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I just like to full send it, and I want other people to do that. That's it. And doing that as a community where you empower each other to do that and start to live life on your own terms, it can be done. I really believe that, and that's why we're here every day doing this. So that's cool.
Right.
I'm just gonna get a Renson cam.
Okay. And I just want to not maybe close this out, but I want to make something clear now. So you understand about who me and Joshua are. Both have been ill or conditioned or imbalanced or something just not quite right about our lives. And we've gotten to a place where we're here and now just want to provide consistent support and build community and connect people for a greater purpose of life and of love. And the ultimate goal is to what we talk about every day and what we hope for, no expectations, but is to bring the support community that we have here, give it opportunity to manifest in person. And because we believe that, yes, we can provide healing through conversation and support through conversations online, but we know that in-person experiences are priceless. They are something that can bring so much healing. And I've experienced it for myself of the difference between having an in-person experience versus, just talking to someone through the computer. It's completely different because we're alive and we're real and human touch is real. And it's something that is responsible for healing. I want to be able to, so that's something that I want to say is that if we are right now, everything is free unless we've talked to you specifically about you investing in group or private services. I will be going public with a free web class on how to support yourself within the next week. And I will be drafting our additional services for more of you to be able to view and decide if it's for you on your own time. It's just something that I'm just working my way through. I'm taking my time with this. This isn't a sprint. We're here to support you in real time, and that's what matters to me. Everything else afterwards, in terms of communicating our image, I'm willing to build over time. So, okay. Joshua was trying to get, great. Thank you so much. You can feel free to go at any time or ask any questions you have. We're just happy to have you here. If you want to set intentions for yourself for the week, I think that it's fun to do that on a Monday. I was explaining that before you arrived here. But I wanted to say something else and I can't quite remember what it was. So Joshua right now is, oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. And we realize that communication is the best way to get through life. Communication is key. And so the more that we communicate with it, make it clear, oh my gosh, this is Joshua.
Wait, is this the right way around?
Yeah, so there's our puppy.
look at
This
him.
is Renson, 6 months old, full of life, 45 pounds, and we love him. We absolutely love him.
Look at this guy, isn't he the best?
Yeah, he's the best. So that's a little bit more about us. We are our pet parents. We got married and got a dog. Typical, right? Okay, this is another iteration of Simply Support. Just so you know, anything that you do here is fueling a bigger dream of making this even a better experience for you and giving back to the community,
Yeah.
making it an in-person community,
Yep.
just more and more. So as long as you stick around, I think the picture will become more clear about what we're trying to do, and we'll be able to communicate it with you.
Yeah, and it is just communication, because that's a big key part of this. I don't know how to communicate it effectively, but all of the services that we offer and anybody that we connect through this, anything, basically anytime money changes hands, the whole community is going to benefit from that.
Yes, that's what we want to make clear.
Is that like it's like a cooperative fund. That's how this is set up from minute one, with that intention. Infrastructure wise is going to catch up, but that's the intention. So it's not like you just paying Kate and I and we're building a community where we just sail to the top. It's not that. It's more we grow in a community, and the community has a fund that can do certain things, and it remotely. I always talk to Kate. We get connected with such great people that are always looking for just somebody to believe in them, somebody to support them, and somebody to in a lot of projects provide financing. Banks aren't that forthcoming to support the creative individual. If you go to the bank and being like, I'm going to be an artist and create an NFT project for this, this, and this, they'll probably be like, nah, I ain't going to fund that. Whereas that was just one example, but as a community, we can fund things just for people in the community. And that's always the intention here, is that we don't just, it's not us growing and then bringing you along for the ride. It's like, well, let's all just go together and make it great.
We believe in financial literacy, and money to us is just an energy and it's a vessel. And we have researched ways to how do you best utilize money. So we track our finances based on a month-to-month negotiables, non-negotiables. The wiggle room is not that strong, because another thing that you must know about me is I'm a very resourceful woman. I've experimented with the zero life movements, zero waste, zero waste movements. Oh my gosh, zero waste lifestyle movements, sustainability. And so we live a humble life here, but we understand money. And when we want money to do something for us, we know that it's best put into a system where it accrues over time and it grows based on APRs and this or that. And how do we make money work for us? And we want that same thing for you.
Yeah, because you don't get taught that, and that's what used to hold me back from learning about money. Was I just thought that everybody that had money was bad or something, or it was like I just wouldn't even approach it, and that's why I never had money. And then over time, I was just like, all right, I need to revisit this relationship. And I realized it's just a relationship. And if you improve it, you can, share that with people. And you don't get taught that. There was not that at school of just like, right, today, here's what we're going to talk about: tax relief, or like how to reduce tax percentages in your business. You don't get taught that. You really don't. And other things like how to make your own money and then keep it, because what most people do is if they ever learn to make their own money, they don't know how to keep it. It just falls through their hands. It's to keep it and then make it work for you, I believe. And we're not, and that's the thing.
Life is a payment plan right now. I was just going to say, like, life's hard to keep up with finances. Let's be honest, because everything comes with a payment plan. Everything's this much a month, this much a month, this much a month. And we understand that. And that's why we're trying to be here for you free, but then help you understand finances.
Because I've lived in debt. I have lived in debt, and then I've got out of it too. So it's like, okay, I know the mindset that got me there. And I know the actions that got me there. And I also know the ones that got me out.
Yeah.
And then got me to a different place. So, and I want to share that, because, man, if somebody just shared that with me a few years ago, I wouldn't. It's like, it's funny because, and if anybody, I always say this, but if anybody knows margins and business, the offers that we have, you can see how it's not designed to make us rich, but it's designed to make the tokenomics is for that. But out of all of those things, just learning money saved probably a lot of stress for me, because it was very stressful and I was like really struggling with that. And it was, and what's interesting is it wasn't actually my scenario that changed that much. It was just talking about it. Like the first time, one of the things that Kate did for me in the space that Kate offered me when I was 26 or something was, we were living together in Vietnam, and I was this fucking, on the surface, my public identity was this guy that was like making it. He was like traveling the world. He was this dude, or living on his laptop, and had this like ego and this identity. But behind closed doors, I was all over the shop. I had no clue about anything that I was doing. I didn't feel good about the money I was making, how I was making it, and therefore I didn't keep much of it. I didn't really like my relationships that much. There wasn't really a lot going on, and that was what 2 or 3 years ago. But just talking to Kate and just accepting that and just being very honest and just being like, Kate, look, this is where I am. And Kate was like, oh, I got you. And Kate supported me in multiple ways back then. And it really like, well, it's why I'm here still today, for sure. And I'm like, damn. And then all of the work that I have done is not eclipsed by just that support role. So it all ties together. But I just want people to know that there is a pathway forward. And if I compare my life reality now to back then, it's like, man, I'm at way more peace now. And that's what I'm looking to share. Kate, when you ask me, it's like, and Kate knows this, and anybody that knows this that worked with me before, I used to charge now crazy fucking prices an hour. And now I literally volunteer for this. I don't actually get paid for this, which is crazy to me, but great at the same time. So it's like, oh, it's actually happening. It's not just talking about it, it's being about it. And I don't know. It's a very different
value.
It's a very different way to live life, and it feels good. And I encourage anybody else to try it.
We're into life experiences before anything else. We are and connecting with people because we're all alive in this human experience together right now. And that's magic, that is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we riffed a lot. And I think that was a good town hall. I think we've communicated a bit more about who we are. And our intentions this week is just to continue to communicate, continue to give value. And we ask you to just communicate who you are, communicate
and feedback
and questions, we're just getting to know each other little by little. And I think that's beautiful. So we'll just take our time with it and see how it evolves over time.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
I want to say your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being here.
I believe it's pronounced Fung Kim Nguyen.
Thank you.
Could be wrong with that though. I believe is it a Vietnamese name?
She gave you a thumbs up.
Cool.
Okay, great. Joshua's good at that. That is it.
I think
From
it is
Vietnam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool.
That's where
Two for two.
That's where me and Joshua fell in love.
Yeah.
Was Vietnam.
I taught English there. Spent a lot of many years actually. Well, it feels like many years.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. So
fun
welcome.
memories.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
We love Vietnam. Okay. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for
anybody
being
that's
here.
watched this on replay, please make yourself known. Just chatting. Any of those things is good.
Yeah.
Slowly. We'll build this together.
Much love.
Much love. Take it easy.
See ya.
Peace.